Wow, 1912.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to start. Good morning, everyone. I'm Eileen Mangalinden, Vice President of Corporate Communications at NVIDIA. Thank you for joining us to discuss the press release we issued today regarding a collaboration between NVIDIA and Intel to jointly develop AI infrastructure and personal computing products. With me on the call today are Jensen Huang, Founder and Chief Executive Officer of NVIDIA, and Lip-Bu Tan, Chief Executive Officer of Intel Corporation. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode. After prepared remarks, we will conduct a Q&A session. As a reminder, this call is being recorded. The content of today's call is NVIDIA's property. It can't be reproduced or transcribed without prior written consent. During this call, NVIDIA and Intel may make forward-looking statements based on current expectations. These are subject to a number of significant risks and uncertainties. For a discussion of factors that could affect their businesses, please refer to the disclosure in NVIDIA's and Intel's most recent forms, 10K and 10Q, and the reports that they may file on Form 8K with the Securities and Exchange Commission. With that, let me turn the call over to Jensen.
Good morning, everyone. AI is driving a reinvention of every layer of the computing stack. 60 years ago, IBM introduced the System 360, the first general-purpose computer. It launched the modern computing era, powered by Moore's Law and CPUs, programmed line by line by human hands. But general-purpose computing has reached its limits. To keep advancing, we invented a new way forward. NVIDIA pioneered GPU-accelerated computing, increasing performance by orders of magnitude, tens, hundreds, thousands of times faster, while dramatically improving energy and cost efficiency. That innovation opened new frontiers in science and industry, and it sparked the Big Bang of artificial intelligence. Today, we're taking the next great step. Just moments ago, NVIDIA and Intel announced a historic to jointly develop multiple generations of x86 CPUs for data centers and PC products. This collaboration will tightly couple and optimize Intel's x86 CPUs for NVIDIA's AI and accelerated computing architecture. Together, our companies will Intel x86 CPUs for NVIDIA's AI infrastructure platforms, our data center platforms, bringing x86 into NVIDIA's NVLink ecosystem. And for personal computing, we're going to create new Intel x86 SoCs that integrate NVIDIA GPU chiplets, fusing the world's best CPU and GPU to redefine the PC experience. This partnership is a recognition that computing has fundamentally changed. The era of accelerated and AI computing has arrived. Today is a very exciting day and a very big day. Intel and NVIDIA are partnering to drive it forward. I'm delighted to partner with Lip-Bu Tan, longtime friend, and many of my colleagues at Intel in this great partnership, this historic partnership. And now let me turn it over to Lip-Bu to tell you about the exciting partnership we're entering into.
Yeah, thank you, Jensen, and thank you all of you for joining. Jensen and I, we know each other for more than 30 years, and I still remember that Jensen had the vision of building the system, platform, software, and with the CUDA, and the long-term vision that he had for the company. And I have to salute to him. He done a fabulous job to building that AI platform, driving the whole new market opportunity. I'm so excited, able to, to work together with Jensen to build a new era, and this is historical collaboration between the two companies. And I think this is a very big, important milestone. I call it a game-changing opportunity that we can work together. And I would say that we are proud that NVIDIA is an investor to Intel, and thank you for supporting and confident in us and trust in us. And I think this milestone, the critical role that Intel can play in the ecosystem, and I'm grateful for the confidence and that you place with us. In terms of product perspective, and I think just make 3 points just to add on to building on the Jensen comments. Number one, this collaboration is built on the core strengths of both companies. NVIDIA is clear leader in AI accelerated computing. Intel is a leader in the data center and client PC CPU. This collaboration brings all together for the best for the industry going forward. Number two, this collaboration is unleash the new era of 86 innovation, and 86 is a foundational role to play in the next era of computing. And I'm excited about what can be created together in the NVLink stack scale solution that based on 86. And 86 client SoC with NVLink interconnect and united memory. And also the advanced packaging that can bring all together and then to make it together for making the company and for the industry. And number three, all of this is great for our customer. Our motto is very simple: make great products and delight the customer. That is what this collaboration all about. And our team are ready and excited to work together, both teams, to make it a success together. And now I open up for some questions.
This concludes our prepared remarks. Operator, please open the call for questions. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, simply press star 1 again. Please ensure that your phone is not on mute when called upon. Thank you. Your first question comes from Jim Cramer of CNBC. Your line is open.
Yes, thank you. First, congratulations, gentlemen. Can you help us understand what the market landscape looks like with this product partnership, and how does it expand the opportunity and growth for both companies?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jim. Lip-Bu, I'll take the first shot at it, and
go ahead.
And you could help me out. So if you look at the AI computing world, let me take it in 2 segments. The AI computing world first. These are supercomputers, and as you know, Jim, we recently introduced the scale-up NVLink 72 rack-scale computers. That involves designing a custom CPU we call Vera that's tightly integrated with the GPUs, Blackwell GPUs, so that we can disaggregate NVLink switches, scale it up into a rack-scale system, essentially have an entire rack behaving as if it's one giant computer, one giant GPU. Well, in order to do that, we have to really customize the CPU to do that. And so this architecture, the NVLink 72 rack scale architecture, is only available for the Vera CPU that we build, the ARM CPU that we build. And for the x86 ecosystem, it's really unavailable except with server CPUs over PCI Express. And that has limitations in how far you could scale these scale-up systems. And so the first opportunity is that we can now, with Intel x86 CPU, integrate it directly into NVLink ecosystem and create these rack-scale AI supercomputers. The second thing is there's 150 million laptops sold per year, and NVIDIA's market is largely targets squarely at gaming and workstation markets where discrete GPUs are used. And we're very successful there, and we continue to grow there, and we're going to continue to grow there. There's an entire segment of the market where the CPU and the GPU are integrated, and it's integrated for form factor reasons. Maybe it's for cost reasons. Maybe it's for battery life reasons, all kinds of different reasons. And that segment has been largely unaddressed by NVIDIA today. And so what the Intel team and I are doing, NVIDIA is doing, is that we're creating an SoC that fuses two processors. It fuses the CPU and NVIDIA's GPU, RTX GPU, using NVLink. And it fuses these two dies into one essentially virtual giant SoC. And that would become essentially a new class of integrated graphics laptops that the world's never seen before. That entire, that segment of the market is really quite rich, and it's really quite large, and it's underserved today, with state-of-the-art world-class GPUs like NVIDIA is able to build.
Yeah, I think, Jensen, if I can just add on to it, and I think clearly it's all about the scale, and in terms of the best of GPU accelerator, and then the best of 86, and then with the NVLink linked together, and then able to scale. And some of the market that we both are doing well, but we can expand even more in terms of some of the application solution, the vertical market we can go after.
If I may just follow up for a second, Jensen, will you be using Intel's foundries to make high-end chips like a Grace Blackwell, or more importantly, a Vera Rubin, the kind of best-in-class semiconductors that right now you have made with Taiwan Semi?
Well, we've always evaluated Intel's foundry technology, and we're going to continue to do that. But today, this announcement is squarely focused on these custom CPUs. With this partnership, with this agreement, we're essentially going to be a major customer of Intel server CPUs. This is the very first time. At the moment, we buy CPUs, ARM-based CPUs, from TSMC, and the x86-based PCI Express CPUs are sold openly in the marketplace. In the future, we will buy x86 CPUs from Intel, and we would fuse it with NVLink into our rack scale system. So we're going to become a very large customer of Intel CPUs. The second thing is that we're going to be quite a large supplier of GPU chiplets into Intel x86 CPU SoCs. And so in that particular case, we're going to be a supplier into a market segment we've never addressed. In the server, we're going to be a major customer of Intel's, and we'll integrate it into NVLink 72 and resell CPUs, essentially. And so this is going to be a great growth business opportunity for both of us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Your next question comes from Ian King of Bloomberg. Your line is open.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you very much for doing this, and this is interesting times we're living in. Wondered if you could talk a little bit about how long you've been working on this agreement, and then obviously you talked a lot about custom solutions and custom parts. Those don't happen overnight. When might we get to the point where we're seeing devices in the end markets for sale, please?
The two technology teams have been discussing and architecting solutions now for probably coming out to a year. The two architecture teams, well, it's three architecture teams, are working across, of course, the CPU architecture as well as product lines for server and PCs. And so the architecture work is fairly extensive, and the teams are really excited about the new architecture. And so the teams have been working a while, and we're excited about the announcement today.
Your next question comes from the line of Michael Acton with Financial Times. Your line is open.
Hi, both. Jensen, why can't you commit to Intel as a foundry for your most advanced AI chips at this point? And does this pave the way for sort of deeper manufacturing collaboration or not? Are you confident Intel's going to get there? And then secondly, I'd be interested, what sort of involvement did the Trump administration have in this agreement, if any?
The Trump administration had no involvement in this partnership at all, and they would have been very supportive, of course. And today, I had the opportunity to tell Secretary Lutnick, and he was very excited and very supportive of seeing American technology companies working together. I think Lip-Bu and I would both say that TSMC is a world-class foundry, and in fact, we're both very successful customers of TSMC's, and the capabilities of TSMC from process technology, their rhythm of execution, the scale of their capacity and infrastructure, the agility of their business operations, just all of the magic that comes together for being a world-class foundry, supporting customers of such diverse needs, is really quite extraordinary. And you just can't overstate the magic that is TSMC. But today, our conversation today, our partnership today, is completely focused. It is 100% focused on the custom CPUs that we're building for the data center that now has NVLink capabilities, and can connect to the NVLink and the NVIDIA AI supercomputing ecosystem. And it's completely focused on mobile SoCs for consumer PCs that now fuse the world's best CPU and the world's best GPU for consumer products. That segment, the first segment, of course, the data center CPU segment, is probably something along the lines of $30 billion a year or so. In the case of, and this combination of Intel and our technology is going to address a fairly significant swath of that because it is the fastest growing segment. And we all can agree that the future of computing is going to be about AI through and through. And so this is an exciting partnership for the data center market, and then for the consumer market, it's 150 million laptops sold each year, and we're now going to combine the best CPU and the best GPU, and so it's really, really exciting.
I think clearly this is historical, and this is also my 6 month the year old for.
I just wonder, can you comment about which manufacturing process the CPU? I just wonder, can you comment about which manufacturing process the CPUs would be made on? And I know you said this is strictly a product announcement, but can you all comment at all on whether this might pave the way for NVIDIA to collaborate with? Can you all comment at all on whether this might pave the way for NVIDIA to collaborate with Intel Foundry Services in the future? And that's all.
Yeah, I think this announcement is more on the product collaborations, and clearly, like Jensen mentioned, the TSMC have been a great partner, long-time partner for NVIDIA. Can describe more, but I think right now we are focused on collaborations, and then a certain date, then we can have more announcement down the road when the product is ready.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the partnership that we're entering into is going to address some, $25-50 billion of annual opportunity, and so this is a very significant partnership, and and many other versions of products like that. And so we're super excited about the ARM roadmap, and this doesn't affect any of that. NVIDIA's architecture, accelerated computing, covers just about every CPU architecture. And our most important interest is for whatever general purpose computing platform that has market reach, we would like to be able to accelerate it to its fullest capability. And so today we have the benefit of partnering with Intel on a CPU platform that unquestionably has the largest enterprise industrial space, cloud, consumer footprint of any CPU in the world. And so really exciting partnership, and we're going to revolutionize this general purpose computing platform by adding and fusing the NVIDIA accelerated computing and AI computing architectures.
The next question comes from Stephen Nellis with Reuters News. Your line is open.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking my question. I had a question for Jensen and Lip-Bu. Jensen, why did you feel it was appropriate or necessary to also make an equity investment in Intel along with this product collaboration? And Lip-Bu, this is now sort of a string of equity investments we've seen from folks. Can we expect other ones from potential partners or foundry customers in the future?
I appreciate that question, because we thought it was going to be such an incredible investment. This is a big partnership, and we think it's going to be fantastic for Intel. It's going to be fantastic for us. And we're building revolutionary products that's going to address some $50 billion annual market. And so how could we, on the one hand, be excited about the products and how revolutionary they are, on the other hand, not be excited about the opportunities ahead? And so we're delighted to be a shareholder. We're delighted to have invested in Intel, and the return on that investment is going to be fantastic, both, of course, in our own business, but also in our equity share of Intel. And I think it's going to be fantastic for Intel. It just reflects how excited we are about this partnership.
Thank you, Jensen. I think to answer your question, I think clearly, as I mentioned, my top 10 priority, one of them is to strengthen my balance sheets, and that's I'm focused on that. And then second, now in this particular situation, I think first of all, I'd like to thank Jensen for the confidence in me, and then our team and Intel will work really hard to make sure it's a good return for you. And more important, it's a strategic partnership to drive the products and go to market together to win. So that I think is very meaningful for us.
Thank you.
The next question comes from Robbie Whelan with WSJ. Your line is open.
Hi, thanks to both of you for the announcement, and congratulations. There have been a lot of questions about whether or not NVIDIA will someday use Intel as its foundry partner for its most advanced AI chips. But with these CPUs that we're talking about under this partnership, will TSMC be fabricating most of those CPUs for the foreseeable future? And then also, just really quickly, what's the bigger addressable market under this partnership? Data centers versus PCs and edge computing? In other words, do you expect to be making more CPUs for PCs under this new arrangement, or more CPUs for data centers?
Lip-Bu, you want to take the first part?
Sure. So I think in terms of as we mentioned earlier, this is more the product collaboration announcement. We both sides a lot of respect for TSMC, C.C. Wei, Morris Chang, and we continue to work with them. In terms of the Intel Foundry, we continue to make progress. And then in terms of the yield performance, 18A, 14A, clearly we want to qualify. And then, we're going to decide whether this is the right one for doing our foundry. So I think, we continue to improve at the right time. Jensen and I will review that. But overall, I think we're going to continue driving our success on the process side and then win the customer confidence and trust, and then one step at a time.
Yeah, I think one of the things, Lip-Bu, that I would also add is that Intel has the Foveros multi-technology packaging capability, and it's really enabling here. And the reason for that is because as we all know, NVIDIA's GPU technology is based on TSMC's Foundry. And this is one of the extraordinary things that you can do, connecting NVIDIA's GPU chiplet with Intel's CPUs in a multi-technology packaging capability and multi-process packaging technology. And so it's really a fabulous way of mixing and matching technology, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to be able to innovate so quickly and build these incredibly complex systems and deliver it as multi-chiplet systems packages. And so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
in terms of the size of, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I think, Jensen, you brought up a good point about our advanced packaging. Fluorescence and also the EMIB is a really good technology, and we will definitely continue to refine it and make sure that's reliable and the yield improvement. And then, so I think that part definitely will explore the collaboration opportunity.
Yeah, with respect to the size of the market, the data center market and the PC market are both large. And we're going to build revolutionary products, first of its kind products. Nothing of its kind has ever been built before for the x86 market. And so I think if my recollection is correct, the data center CPU market is about $25 billion or so annually. And just the notebook market is 150 million notebooks sold each year. And so that kind of gives you a sense of the scale of the work that we're going to do here. We're going to address in terms of the consumer market, we're going to address a vast majority of that consumer PC market, consumer PC notebook market. And with respect to the data center, we're going to bring NVLink, which is the scale-up interconnect, the fabric of NVIDIA, the computing fabric of our company. We're going to bring that capability to Intel. And so I think these are going to be revolutionary products, and we're looking. I know that all of us working on it are super excited about it. The architects working on it are super excited about it, and so we're looking forward to telling you more about it over time.
The next question comes from Edward Ludlow with Bloomberg.
Thank you very much for your time and willingness to answer questions. Jensen, I appreciate you talked a lot about the addressable market. Could you explain in Silicon Valley, so to speak, for a long time, right? If you stand on the Intel roof, you can look across the freeway at NVIDIA. Would you just explain the culture and sentiment inside Intel today in reaction to this new partnership and what it means for the trajectory of you and your staff? Thanks.
In the case of the data center to server CPU,